Hello guys and welcome to another video here on the Manchity channel. Today we're doing street stocks at a road course. Finally got around to a video. I've done loads of races in this series this week. I've got 2 wins and finished second a couple of times. There's one guy in this series who is so quick around this course and I cannot match him. Everyone else I've been able to be pretty decent against after I've learnt the track and win. But man, that guy, he's so quick. Is he in here? No, he isn't. Wow, he's quick. So hopefully, yeah. So we'll see what happens. It's a bit of a quiet server, sadly. It's 9 AM currently, and the Dayton 24 is going on. So I think that's robbed a few of the members. But normally at this time I'd expect maybe 11, 12 races at least. We've only got 8. It's still official. We've got more than 6, so it's official. It's fine.
The track temperature is falling. It's now 29 Celsius.
Also, my ping's a bit high. We might have to watch that because I'm currently downloading Microsoft Flight Sim on this PC because I deleted it to save storage, and now I've got a new storage drive. I'm reinstalling it, so hopefully that doesn't become a problem. If I'm blinking out far too much, I will just stop the installation while we're doing this race. I'll see what happens. I mean, the high ping, that's the thing. We've got high ping, but
kilometers per hour.
The quality of our connection
rejoin him.
is okay. If you look at the top right, our quality is okay, and obviously we're not blinking out like crazy at the moment. So we'll see how this goes. Now around this track, I have been able to get some pretty decent lap times. My best is a 37.8, and my average is about 38.0, 38.1. So. It's about how you do this corner particularly. This corner you can do very quick if you do it right. But as you can demonstrate, as demonstrated just then, loads of people don't do it right. So, yes, it's interesting. But I really enjoy this track. I think it really suits the street stocks. I absolutely love it, and hopefully we can have decent enough lap times to win this thing. We'll see. I mean, already my out lap is actually the quickest out of anybody so far. But yeah, we'll see what I can do, really. So I'm quite interested. At the moment, actually, 2 people are disconnected, maybe thinking that it's unofficial. It isn't. It is official, so they will lose iRacing for not taking part. So, who knows about that one?
Your tactics clear. Push. Okay, Morgan, we've got 2 laps to get.
So if this race hadn't gone official, I wouldn't have done it, but because it has gone official, then I have done it, obviously. I really want to make a video about it, so maybe, I mean, generally the optimum size of the field in this race is normally about 14. When it starts going above 18, it starts getting ridiculous, because some people are really slow, because they're new to road racing, and they just get in the way, and it causes issues. Some people don't get out of the way because they don't understand that they should get out of the way, and it causes accidents. It's just generally not fun. But then obviously doing it with 8 might be a bit dull. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how the competition is. Obviously we're going for qualifying now, so all I've got to do is get 2 fairly alright laps in, and then see what everyone else is doing. We've got an alright run for the first corner, but one thing you've got to watch, sometimes the car drifts slightly wide there and goes on the grass. Obviously that wouldn't invalidate your lap time, so I don't want to do that, so I had to back off a bit. So this first lap, really not been that good. So we'll see what it's like in this split. Obviously, I'd like at least a 38.2 in qualifying, that's what I've been expecting as a minimum in qualifying, and if I can get any better than that, then I will. So this lap's pretty bad, really. This is a 38.3, so not a very good lap, that.
P2, that lap was a 38.4.
Okay, and it does look as though we have some competition, because we're only P2. That's kind of nice to see. That means that we won't just be going about on our own all the time. Sadly, my internet connection dropped out at that exact moment, so this lap time will still count, but I won't get to see how good it was in that bit of the lap. And I've messed up the last sector, that's not good, I've really messed it up. Hopefully, that lap is better. What do we need? We only need a 38.2 or better. I know I can do better than that normally. What is it? Yes, it's a 38.1.
Pole position.
I knew I was capable of one of those, and there we go, we've done it. So, the next guy is doing a 38.3, so, yeah, it's good, but maybe not quite competitive with me. The other 2 are nowhere near competitive. And then, is there anybody else? Yeah, there's car number 7 and car number 5. both need to set laps. Cars number 3 and 4, so they're disconnected for some reason. I don't understand. I think some people disconnect thinking the race has gone unofficial because there's such a low amount of cars. They don't look. So they're disconnected and they'll finish last and they're going to lose like quite a bit of iRacing just by not taking part. Like, I mean, judging by the... Oh dear. I'm already worried about car number 7. They've managed to get 7 incident points. And that is difficult in the street stock. Because it's quite difficult to lose control of this car. To touch wood anyway. And on top of that, there's, again, really I'd say there's only maybe 2 corners where you can go off track here. Maybe 3. Oh dear, it's up to 8 incident points. Right, we're staying away from that guy in the race. We're staying away from that guy. I do not trust him whatsoever. 8 incident points. That is not good. That is not good. Also, I think they have got to finish first here. Judging by the iRating of other people, when I saw them in the entries list, they're all around the 1,000-ish mark. This is my problem at the moment with iRacing having its thing of oval. So this is of my road license. This is what it's affecting. Is it kind of means that some people who are maybe quite quick at road but never do it because oval has always used oval safety rating and iRating. It means that they've actually got quite a low iRating in comparison to how quick they actually are. Because everybody starts on 1350, remember. So no matter how good you are, you always start on 1350 in rookie class, and then either work your way up or down. And the really quick guy I was on about, he started the week about 1500 iRating, but then because he's been really quick, he's actually on about 2100 now. You know, like he gained 600 in a week just because it's the first time they've ever done road racing. But for those first races, before people get to their natural iRating, it does make things like, there was one race what I did where a 1 split 1 and split 2 had people setting faster laps because they were rookies, but they were actually quite good at oval racing because that's, you know, it's just, it gets a bit messed up basically with the, but hopefully after a couple of seasons, I'm hoping it'll balance out because obviously
That's
every
the end of the
season,
session.
each
You're on
oval
pole.
series
Well done.
goes to a road track probably once, like the Xfinity one, the trucks, the main series, the Cup series, they all go once to a road track, so... And obviously the street stock doesn't normally go to a road track, but this season, this is the first time in a year and 2 months that this series has gone to a road track, so it'll be interesting. But
the track temp is 28
only
Celsius.
6 of us,
that's pole.
which is a bit of a shame. I would have wanted slightly more than that. Even 8 is slightly better. But obviously, cars, the people who are 7th and 8th in this race just disconnected. I don't know why. I guess they felt
behind
like
the safety car
there was no
in the
point
left
being
column.
in a race with such a low amount of people, but obviously, since the race is official, that doesn't really matter. I've only just noticed my recording is actually lagging quite a bit. Is that because I'm installing Microsoft Flight Sim, I wonder? Hopefully that's okay for you guys. It looks mildly laggy on my end, like it's getting 50 FPS rather than 60, which means it's missing every... Although the thing is, for me, it always looks more laggy than it actually is, because I'm playing it on my lower quality monitor, which doesn't display things as well as my main monitor. So, I don't know, hopefully the recording quality is okay for you guys. I've never had a problem with it before. The worry is it's that Microsoft Flight Sim installation messing it up. I don't want this recording to be rubbish because I've really wanted to do a recording on this race for ages. Well, I can't stop the installation now because we're already rolling, but hopefully the recording quality is better than what is looking up on my screen. As long as it's not freezing a lot, it's okay. I can cope with the lower FPS, because especially if you watch YouTube in 480p or lower, even 720p or lower, it's actually only in 30 FPS anyway, not 60. Right. Pace car's in. We can go when we want.
Alright, Morgan, here we go.
And I've gone now. Nobody else was expecting me to go then, were they? Because you can go when you like, that's the thing. You can go exactly when you like if you're in the lead. And then all you've got to do in second is follow the leader. Alright, we're away then. We've already got a second lead. Something's happened to P2. They're 4 seconds away. I don't know what happened to them, but they've really fallen back. Right. The FPS on the recording doesn't look too bad. It is stuttering quite a bit. Hopefully that resolves itself. I don't have time to look at it now, though. Obviously. Considering I'm racing. Yeah, that's a shame. Hopefully that doesn't. Hopefully that's just how it's playing back on my other monitor. I don't normally look at the recording anyway while I'm racing, so it might always be like that. And then it just gets resolved when I look at it on my main monitor, because I do forget that. I think my other monitor is a lower FPS, because it does happen when I play games or watch videos. When I put them on my other monitor, the FPS always goes down. So I think maybe that's what's going on. Anyway, away we go. We've now got a 3.5 second lead already, so I'm a bit disappointed really. I was hoping to get the win, but to maybe have a bit of a battle for it at least. It's quite difficult to pass around this track anyway. This track I've been able to stick behind, I've been able to keep people behind me that are a lot faster than me for a long time before.
You're now in the lead.
It's quite easy to keep people behind here. Like, it does get to the point where even passing a lap car can be difficult, depending on the lines they're taking. I don't know, the lag doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit freezy, but it's still it's getting 51 FPS right now, so it's still fairly nice.
We're quickest right now. That lap time was 38.3.
Hopefully the recording quality is okay. Right, already, I was like, maybe this is not going to be the exciting video I wanted it to be, because we've already got 4.5 second lead behind. So all we're going to try and do now. One thing that this series has been great for as well is gaining safety
Gap behind
rating.
is now 4.6 seconds.
I have an A class 3.6 or 3.8 license, and with 0 incidents, I gained 0.2. Absolutely insane. I gained loads.
We're quickest at the moment.
So I was really happy with that. Gaining quite a lot of safety rating, just doing these races. Now someone else is disconnected, so sadly we're down to just 5 cars now. So that may be a little boring. I've got a 5.5 second lead, so... And the thing is that this race is official, so on my stats it will count as a win. And in iRacing, it will count. And in points, championship points, it will also count as a win. So all those things are really important things. So I don't mind so much in that sense. It's nice to get a win, nice to have a chill race. However, for the video, maybe, because I have had more exciting street stock races than this, I just didn't record them. I'm recording this one because it's the first opportunity I've really had to record one. Because I generally only record on this PC, and I haven't had any races on this one since the start of the week, really, Tuesday. And I was still learning the track then, so I didn't want to do a video on it then. But then since tonight, Thursday, Friday, I have properly learned this track now.
Okay, Morgan, lap times are pretty consistent.
And it's been okay. Yeah, the lap times I'm setting aren't even the best. I mean, a 38.2, it's pretty good actually for 7 laps in, I guess. Best in this race is actually a 38.1, so we have done some pretty good laps. We've got 7 seconds behind now, the gap. So we're pulling away quite nicely. I think there's 5 people in here, yeah. At some point we are going to be beginning to lap them. By the looks of it, P5 is 12 seconds behind us, meaning that they are still a good 20 seconds ahead of us. So we haven't got to worry about lapping them just yet. Oh, never mind, he's gone in the pits. P5's in the pits. They could probably finish there and gain iRacing. Out of 8 cars, P5, they could probably just leave now and gain iRacing. In fact, lap 6 is exactly what they've done. Okay, we're down to 4 cars now. This is insane. So there was 8 cars, there's now only 4. What's going on? I was like, yay, there's 8 people, the race could be good, it could go official, and then this happens. Weirdly, the guy who set a 38.1 in qualifying is now 38.3, is now 11 seconds behind me. I'm surprised by that. I thought when someone set a lap time at like a 30.
The gap behind is now 8.8 seconds.
They might be fairly competitive, but nope. In fact, the guy in P2, I mean, it did help though. I did get a bit of a jump start. Again, perfectly allowed because I'm the leader. As soon as the pace car pulls off, I can go when I like.
We're currently setting the pace.
And the job of second and third is to basically try and get the best start possible without passing me. Anyway, right, gap 10 seconds behind. We're already a third through this race. It's not a long race, this is 30 laps. I think it's just over 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, I'm not sure. Whatever it is, though, it's really fun.
That lap time was 38.3.
That is one thing. I've really enjoyed doing this series all week. This circuit, I really enjoy it. It's been great fun trying to race around here. It's actually quite a difficult track in parts, like especially in a street stop, which doesn't corner very well. I mean, obviously these things are made for ovals, so I'm not used to driving them like this. But it's been really fun. Next week we go to Vanier, which is a short track, so back to normal next week. And Lanier is one of the included tracks,
that was
so I can't do
38.4. Good consistency, keep them coming.
Right, there we go. This has been really fun, this has. Really fun.
Your lap time was at 38.2.
You know, even though I'm not actually battling anybody, I just really like this circuit, you know. I think this circuit is really nice. I hope that the street stocks go to more road courses. Obviously next season, I really hope that they do go to more. Because personally, I really enjoy it. I think it works really well.
The gap behind's increased to 13 seconds.
You know, when you get into a rhythm of this track, it's proper nice. You've got some fast corners, you've got the chicane that's flat out, and then you've got the slower, almost hairpin-like corners. And remember, if you look carefully, I'm not sure if anyone would have noticed already, but I am doing it without the driving line. All a bit too quick through there. Carried slightly too much speed, obviously trying to avoid the grass there, so that slowed us down. I don't really mind, obviously. Maybe in a competitive race, really competitive race, I maybe would have pushed it a bit more there, but you know, I want to try and get 0 incidents. If I can gain a ton of safety rating.
Pace. You've just done a 38.7.
Because I know already I'm not going to gain a lot of iRating because the field is so bad in comparison to me in terms of the iRating, so I'll probably only gain about 20 iRating, even for finishing first. Alright, the first person to lap just appears on our relative. They are 18 seconds away, so we might lap them before the end. I don't know, we're halfway now, so it'll be a bit tight. Yeah, they're 18 seconds. Yeah, so they're quite far away, but...
You're halfway home. Your fuel is fine. You've just done a 38.6. We're matching race pace.
We'll see, obviously we are... Yeah, we're halfway now, that's the thing. That lap was a bit slow, that one. Obviously the tyres do start going off as well, so you've got to expect the lap times to be a bit slower. Because of that, normally towards the end of the race, you can only do a 38.5, 38.6, and that's a quick lap time. Oh, there we go. I think the tyres are beginning to go off a little bit now. Might just take it a bit more easy. Obviously we can do that. We have a 16-second gap behind, so in other words, no problem. So it's probably probably better if we take it easy rather than pushing like crazy. Thought I might get off track for that, but didn't. That was good.
You have 0 incidents.
That's what one here, just checking. Right, on to lap number 18 now. Of 30.
The gap behind is now 17 seconds. We're setting the pace.
Wasn't so good through that corner there, but not too bad. I think P2's gone off, or been shoved off by somebody, because they're now behind P4. I mean, I think everybody who finishes this race will actually gain iRating, because they're in the top half of the field. However, I wouldn't get, if I finished P4, I wouldn't gain iRating, because I'm so good compared to these guys on iRating. I would probably need to finish second, minimum, if not first. I think second. Right, gap behind 18 seconds. The other two on my screen are lap cars. My lap times have actually really
Your
fallen
last lap
away,
time was at 39.0.
which is to be expected really. The tyres are obviously coming away, and then on top of that, I'm also not really, you know, if I had someone right behind me right now, I'd be pushing, but I don't, so there's no point in pushing. Might get off track, might spin out. Oh, someone else has gone. Okay, so we're down to 3 people now. Interesting. This is probably the quietest official race on iRacing.
Your lap time was 38.7. Your times are good in all 3 sectors.
Cars are using a bit of grip. I'm actually probably, their tyres are probably a lot better than mine, because obviously they're probably pushing less through the faster corners, because that's how you get the slower lap time. Oh no, that was close. If you run wide there, that isn't off track. I initially thought that was, you know, weirdly, that kind of like cementy stuff that you see on the floor, you're allowed to cut that on the last chicane.
That lap was at
And on this
39.8.
corner, and on the other hairpin, but then on the exit of the other hairpin, and the first bit of that last chicane, you can't cut it, otherwise it's an off track. So, bit of a weird system. And then if you graze the grass here, that's also an off track. If you graze it enough.
The gap behind is now 20 seconds.
Obviously my lap times have really dropped. Kind of expected really. Obviously, I said I'm not really pushing quite that much.
We're quickest at the moment.
My aim right now is to get 0 incident points and to not crash. Also, these tyres do feel like they've gone off more than they usually do. Maybe it's just me.
Currently setting the pace. All 3 sectors are pretty quick.
Oh, car's getting a bit lively through there. I don't think we're going to get to lap these guys. Maybe if I was staying at full pace the entire time, maybe I could have lapped them, but obviously as soon as the gaps got quite large to them, I've kind of just chilled out a bit. Remember as well, the first car that appeared on my lap board, they've actually disconnected now. And they were probably the ones I was gonna. They were probably the person I was gonna catch first. The car does not feel like it wants to turn into that bit of that fast corner there. It doesn't feel like it does. I don't know why. It can cost me a good 2 or 3 tenths of a lap, that just lifting into that corner. You're not supposed to lift, but if the front tyres won't follow what I want them to do, then I haven't really got any other choice. Right, on to lap number 26, so we're almost at the end. Oh, yeah, this car's not turning now. I don't know what's happened. It doesn't want to turn. I don't know whether... I don't feel like I've pushed these tyres any more than I usually would have. Oh, so we're not really in any rush anyway, but... You know, I hope this video has been quite fun for you guys. Maybe it was a bit too laggy, I don't know, but... I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a really rare combination, this. It's really fun. Maybe a bit of a shame that we haven't had as much of a battle as maybe I would have wanted in this race, but... That's not too bad, is it? That lap that guy set, that 33, must have been like a false lap or something. So if he was saying 38.3 throughout the entire race, he would have actually been able to stay fairly close to me. And then he would have dropped back maybe like...
We're quickest right now. That last lap was at 38.9.
Who were in 3rd or 4th. And they've only, you know, they've been able to stick within 10 seconds of me during the race. Unless that was a really good lap that they did. Could also be that they're not confident racing this car. Obviously, you know, it was weird at first. When I was racing around this track at first, it was really fun, but I went into a race and I was like, hang on, what are other cars doing here? This doesn't work. Because obviously you only practice
Come on, Morgan, 2 laps left.
Test drive on the
P1,
road
we're quickest at the moment. That lap was at 38.7.
doing here? This doesn't make any sense. Obviously it's a race, but this car does feel weird around a track like this. You know, obviously it's made for short tracks. It's made for short tracks and things like that. It's not made for circuits, which is why it almost never runs on them. But I'm glad it did, because it's really fun. You know, even if this race hasn't had many people in it, obviously I think if we had the full 8 people, it maybe would have been a bit more interesting.
Stay focused. That was 39.1.
If you have the full 8 people, it's actually quite good, but... So we're getting around 14 is probably the peak. Nice and slow through here, make sure we don't get off track. And this is my second Grand Slam of the week in this series, which means fastest lap in the race, led every lap in the race, finished first, and got pole. And I guess as iRacing,
perfect drive, absolutely flawless.
Technically got 0 incident points to that list as well. That's really fun. I've got to say, really enjoy this series, really enjoy it. Even if we don't have as many people as maybe would be nice. It's a great opportunity to gain a little bit of iRating and a decent amount of safety rating. While this car around this track is just really nice. It works really well. It would have been nice, as I said, if those people didn't disconnect right at the start. Also, sorry if the recording does turn out to be a bit laggy.
Engage the limiter.
Nothing I can really do about that. I want this video to go up on YouTube because it's really fun, this series. But you can see there, look, only 3 people finish in the end. I'm a bit disappointed about that. I don't know why they decided to disconnect. I mean, if they saw that the race was unofficial, I can see why people would disconnect, but it was actually official. So you can see the last race I did here was 1 incident point. I got second to car number 4. He's the guy who's so quick. He's absolutely insane. Round here, you can see that 37.7 and I did a 37.8. It was a really intense race. That really fun. I gained 38 iRacing. I mean, also this series has actually helped me pop my iRacing up quite a large amount. Actually, I've been able to go from about 2,800 up to 2,900, and then I took part in a fixed Ferrari race in which I span. I qualified really well, actually. I set my best ever lap, and it was still only P13. But then through carnage, I got up to P9, and then I had a spin, which put me back to P13, and then another spin right at the end. And the worst part was I only lost 2 positions, but then while rejoining the track, I went up a hill, meaning to go down the other side of the hill and rejoin the track. And in the middle of that hill, a flat bit in the middle, turned out to be see-through. So the car drove through it, and I ended up in the Shadow Realm and got sent back to the pits. So there we go. Not fun at all. You can see there, look, anybody who basically took part in the race gained iRating. That person there who disconnected, I don't know what they were thinking. They lost 74 iRating. Feel sorry for them. But no matter. 0 incident points as well. How did that person get 15 incident points? There was nobody there. Interesting. But really fun. 31 iRating as well, which is probably more than I expected. I was expecting like 20. Because even car number 2, look, was only 1,300 iRating. So, I was racing, it was a bit of an unfair race on everybody else, but really fun, whatever it was. I don't get many championship points for that either. I would have had a lot more championship points if it wasn't for that. I probably would have ended up with, I think my best this season, so this week, is about 88 points. I can't get any more than that because I've never been in a split good enough to get that. Weirdly, my best actually championship points result even came from a second place, so oh wow, that was earlier in the week when I wasn't quite quick enough to compete for wins, but now I am. That's my 3rd win of the week. I'm really happy for that, actually, really happy. It's been good fun, but I hope you guys really enjoyed that one. I might do a fixed Ferrari race, I'm not sure. The thing is, I've already done 2 fixed Ferrari races, and both of them have lost me iRating. Even though I'm actually quite quick around Summit Point, I don't know, I did get quite unlucky. I can't remember which race it was I did now. But it was a properly intense one. It happened at 4:15, I believe. It wasn't that one. It had a really high strength of field. So it meant that I was kind of there it is, there, look, 3k strength of field, which in fixed Ferrari is very high. If you look at qualifying, I did my best ever lap, which was an 8.1, and it was still not good enough. And that an 8.1 is definitely a lap time, pretty good for my iRating. If you look at split 2, that would have got me P3 on the grid. So it's easily a good lap time. It's just that top split was very, very, very quick. Quite a few, quite a few guys who were setting lap times of what I didn't expect. All people above 3,000. I was only car 14. Pretty insane. But I said I threw the position away. I started P13 and I was in P9 and then span out around one of the corners. Again, I don't know. Summit Point, I love Summit Point, but it's such a technical, on-edge track that when it comes to turning left and right really quickly and all throttle on, throttle off, in the Ferrari, because it's so quick, it is a little bit overwhelming, but, not too bad. Hope everyone enjoyed this one, by the way. Not sure if there's going to be any more videos from this week of iRacing. I'm thinking about giving the Michelin Pilot Challenge a go. I haven't actually tested it yet, so I might give that a go at Twin Ring. Either it's Motegi or Motegi. I don't know how you pronounce that. Obviously, we're not doing VRS Sprint. That's at Oran Park, which is the stupidest idea in the world. And Touring Car Challenge is at Spa, so not a good idea either. The BMWs are also at Summit Point, and weirdly, even though I used to be very quick in the BMW around Summit Point, last season when they went here, I was really quick. I was qualifying pole all the time, setting proper nice kind of 15 zeros, even a 14.8 at one point, which was a really good lap, enough to get in the top 3, top 4 every race. But for some reason, this season I went back there and I just couldn't find the same pace. I don't know. I think now I've driven other cars, I've learned the BMW is quite awful. It's very, very understeery. I like them to bring the old BMW 12 Challenge back so I could give it a go. I remember just before I joined iRacing, I think it was, maybe 2 seasons before I joined. I can't remember. I think it was season 1, 2020, but the BMW 12 Challenge used to be done in the M8 GTE. And even though only 12-minute racing in a GTE maybe is a bit crazy, I think that would have been quite fun. I would have quite liked to do that. I mean, I guess with them bringing back Ferrari Challenge though, fixed Ferrari, it's kind of the same kind of thing. I don't know. Obviously, normally I'd spend my time doing the SimLab Production Car Challenge, but this week I haven't been able to do that because, as I said, I did the one race to get the participation and for a crazy race, and that is it. I'm not doing it again, even though it's on my oval license. I just don't want to. You're asking for carnage, basically. Weird, the Formula Sprint's at Okayama, although it's only the short version, which I don't like as much. Because Okayama, I quite like these sort of corners round here, and I quite like that corner. I like that part of Okayama, and then this part of Okayama I'm not much of a fan of, so the short layout isn't really what I like. I prefer the full layout. But anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this one. Hope to see you in the next one, and I hope the recording wasn't too laggy for you guys. Bye-bye!